Normally, they have the amount of people that they give visas in a day. It is from this point that you should listen carefully on how I got my visa. So, this episode is going to be different from the usual. You guys, of course, from the background, you can tell that your farmer has left the country. But before I go into that detail in another video, I want to talk about something very important for people who are looking for visas. Visas, and they keep denying them visas. And I just want to share important information on how to get your visas. Maybe after hearing my story, you would have learned one or two things from my experience coming to the United States of America. Okay, so let's get into it. Let me stop. I know you guys have your questions, there are a lot of things you want to say, but on this particular vlog, I'm going to only address visa issues. If you're not a Nigerian and you're watching this video, I just want to give you a background knowledge. Now, getting visas from Nigeria is really, really, really hard, especially getting American visas, any kind of visa that has to do with United States of America. It's been difficult. If you're a regular Nigerian or you have a friend that's a Nigerian and you ask anybody this, they will tell you that it's almost like passing through the eyes of a needle, especially now during this dispensation. Okay, so for me, I have always traveled. I always like to travel, so about my first attempt trying to get this particular visa to the United States of America. I remember it was about 6 years ago. I came to Abuja, my visa interview, and I was denied. Now, there's a backstory to that denial. As of 6 years ago, I was still a farmer. I've been a farmer for 7 years, but this is what happened. So, because of the stories of how hard it is to get a visa from Nigeria. So I had to use an agent to get the visa. And my friend told me that, oh, this agent gets visas for people. Once you use him, you have no issues. He will coach you. So I paid him. He filled my form for me. He filled everything. And then he coached me. Normally, when you go for visa interviews, they will ask you, what do you do? How much do you make? Anything they want to ask you. What countries have you traveled to? These are some of the questions that the agent then he was coaching me on. And when he asked me before you get to the visa office now, he will actually coach you. He asked me, hey, so what do you do? Let's know what to say. And I told him then that, oh, I'm a new farmer. At that point in time, I was a farmer already. I've already had my farm. I was about 1 year into the business, or almost 2 years. So I told him that, oh, I'm a farmer. And he said, farmer, ha. Don't use that word and go there. Don't tell them you're a farmer. Don't tell them you're a farmer there. Just, please, that he will write a form for me. He will get one of his friends that works in all these big companies to write a form for me to say that I work under the person or something like that. The point of this whole story is that the first one, he looked down on my profession. He said, farmer, don't say it or they won't give you. And that's what I believed, because at that point in time, for Christ's sake, my name on all social media platforms is the fitness farmer. And I was so proud of being a farmer. I am still proud of being a farmer because my name on this YouTube channel is the fitness farmer. So I was shocked to see somebody put down what I'm doing by saying, oh, please, don't say you're a farmer there. They won't give you farmer care. Which one is farmer? Please say you work this, you're a HR for this and that and that and that. So he filled the form, he wrote everything, he coached me, and I got in there for the interview. Of course, I was scared, so I didn't say I'm a farmer. They asked me what I do. I just said, oh, I am a HR for this company and that company, just to get the visa. And I was denied. So when I came out, I called him. I told him, look, they denied me this visa. And he said, oh, maybe that's because you do not have travel history. Because at that point in time, I think my only travel history then was Dubai. I went to Dubai for let me say a couple of times, and I think Dubai and Kenya. So it was like, no, as that 6 years ago, that, oh, you have to build your travel history. That's why they even denied you. It's not because of what you said and everything. So I said, okay, no problem. Now, before I go further into the story, yes, this is number one point in getting a visa. Please build your travel history, no matter how small. But I'm coming to that. So over time, I started traveling. I went to Mauritius, I went to Seychelles, I went to Kenya, I went to Egypt. Look, there's no country. See, over time, I went to South Africa. Just call the country. I got a Schengen visa. I went as far as Argentina. Yes, South America. Now let me give you, this is the snag. Now, because I wasn't building this travel history because of coming to America. No, I was building this travel history because I love to travel. So I was like, okay, if they denied me this visa for whatever their reasons are or is, no problem. Let me just find other countries to actually travel, to actually express myself, because traveling for me is the only way I can, distress from Nigeria stress. Traveling for me is, I don't know how to actually explain it in this video, but for me, travel is life, experience, culture. I travel for a lot of things. And I love to travel. Traveling for me was not because of the visa. It was okay, while they denied me, let me still build and still enjoy myself. My people, I traveled. African countries, I love to travel around African countries, most especially because of the weather. I don't like cold at all. So there was no way. I remember getting Schengen visa and finding out that cold, and and some places that I wanted to visit was cold. I didn't go again because of cold. Yes. So that's why I was exploring Africa. There was no place. Most of the countries in Africa, I explored. I traveled. In fact, so going back to my Argentina visa, um, I remember I said, okay, let me try Argentina. And I had to browse, and they were like, okay, by that time of the year, it was a bit warm. I didn't know that their own warm there is cold. I don't like cold at all. So, anyway, I got the visa. I've never really had issues getting any other visa apart from this American visa, because I didn't know why they would deny me. For you to know how deep this is, Argentina visa is very tough. It's very hard to get. In fact, Argentina is in South America, and there is only very few blacks. Like, how many people have you heard that go to Argentina? Thank you. I traveled almost 2 days by air to Argentina. I stayed there for like 2 weeks. I enjoyed myself. I explored the country and so many other countries over the years. Coming now to my second time of trying for the visa. 2 years ago, I said, okay, let me retry because I have built my travel history. Even as at last year, I think I went to South Africa 3 times. As at the year before, I even repeat countries, because countries that I really, really like, I repeat them. I'll paraglide, I will sail, I will do skydiving, because that's my kind of person. So I said, okay, let me just try these people again, since, I've enjoyed myself. Let me see what here has to offer. And I went again for my second missionary journey. Ha, the second missionary journey, it wasn't a small thing. I got in there, and because of that same orientation from the agent that said, "Oh, please do not say you're a farmer." He treated my family like that. Like, "Oh, please do not say you're a farmer. Just still maintain, since you have started saying that, oh, you work." And as at 3 years ago, I was also working for my mom. My mom has a factory in Port Harcourt where we produce beans flour, plantain flour. So I was also at that point in time managing the place for my mom, but I still had my farm. So primarily I was a farmer. I was just helping my mom manage her factory. So I said, okay, let me add that. Let me put down this farmer, tag, since the agent has told me that, oh, farming, you know, go anywhere. I said, okay, applied, I got a date, and on that day I got there, and I said the same thing. They asked me, what am I going to do there? I said, I'm going for vacation, because of course it's vacation. Then they asked me, where do you work? I told them that, oh, I work for, this company, and I am like the human resource officer there. I did not even add that I'm a farmer because of what he told me. So I got rejected again for the second time. And I told my friend that when I came back to Port Harcourt, I said, that's the last time I would ever go for this particular visa. That, please, I was so pissed. I was so mad that, God, that we have different countries, that we have countries to travel. We have other countries over the world to travel to. Must it be here? So even if I don't enter here, and so I started traveling to other countries apart from the United States of America. And just last year, October, when Trump came into administration last year, and a friend of mine she just mentioned that, oh, she wants to apply for, the American visa for a vacation. Let's go. And I was telling her, don't go there. Oh. I've done it 2 good times, and they rejected me. So I want to advise you, do not enter. Now, where I don't go, there's no road there. Check other states, check other countries, the other countries are big. Because, and she now told me that, look, just let us just try again. You never can tell. Now, as at this point now in Nigeria, it's really hard to get dates. If you've ever looked for interview dates, you know what I'm talking about. This time around, I'm going to apply for myself. It is from this point that you should listen carefully on how I got my visa. This is where I'm sitting down in the city of Atlanta, Georgia for now. I'd blogs will come up where you will see my travels to other states in America, and from here I'll be going to another country. But let me not digress. These are the things that I want you to listen to from this point of this story because it can help somebody out there. I had that negative mindset, I must say, because I was tired. I was tired, I was scared, and I didn't want to put my hopes there. So it's not easy. So I didn't want to raise my hopes and say, oh, okay, for this third time they will give me after they've seen all my travel history. It doesn't really count, but it counts because it's good to dot your I's and cross your T's. So yes, get like travel a bit, but still it is not a guarantee for visa because I was like the one that I did 2 years ago. Where did I see visa? Let me just put, and I told my friend that this is the last time I would apply for an American visa because it's draining. Both the money, both the mental stress, and there's something it does to your confidence. Like, so I'm not good enough to get, or I don't know, but for me, because I was like, what the in fact, let me continue. I got the dates, actually booked my flights, packed to go to Abuja. I always like to choose Abuja, the embassy in Abuja for an interview. They have in Lagos, they have in Abuja, but Lagos has always been too crowded for me. So I said, okay, let me try Abuja. And I want to also say it here that the last 2 times I tried, it has always been Abuja. So I still said I will still go back there. There's no problem. So I flew to Abuja. But when I was packing, I packed a night before. And this is where the story gets weird. And this is where I know that God's hand, this is where the fate of a mustard seed came in. My people, I packed my box a night before. Normally, you arrange all your documents now. You arrange your passport. I got my name, say company documents. That is my farm document. Hey, this time around, I said I will go as a farmer. I didn't want to lie. I was tired because that was when I said, oh, look, since I've tried this too, let me come as myself. I don't tire. So I actually prepared my company's document. After all, my company is a public limited liability company, bank statements. I got everything that I needed. And I put it inside an envelope, a brown envelope, while I was packing. Do you know that I packed my bags? I locked my closets because my housekeeper stays in my house when I have to travel with my dogs. So, and I traveled to Abuja. So the whole interview was for the next day, and the night before, normally I just, you actually bring out your documents to cross-check everything, your passports, whether it's, and everything. So I reached for my documents, and guess what? My documents, they were not with me. I forgot it in Port Harcourt. But I know that I didn't forget this thing because how can I forget my documents? Like everything I needed to show in Port Harcourt. And I'm going to Abuja for this purpose, solely for interview. I'm not a careless person, but see how the devil works. I don't know how. Apparently, my housekeeper, she came to help me, carry it down to the car. So she just removed the document, put it on the table, and carried my box with me. So I thought that she carried both the box and the document on top, like to the car. So long story short, my document was in Port Harcourt, locked in my closet. Remember that I have taken the key with me because I just leave only one room open for her and the kitchen and one toilet open. And of course, I lock my name say personal rooms that I want to use. So I have already taken the key with me. Is it with me and traveling to Abuja? God, I said, God, is this a sign that I shouldn't go? I've already given up. I said, look, my interview is in the morning, 8:30. It's a 4 p.m. I'm finding out that my documents that I will use to present my passports is is in Port Harcourt. Who does that? So that means that this is a sign that I should not even come for this interview. So something told me to still push. I was sleeping. I've already lost hope. I went to take ice cream, pizza. I said, look, this Abuja is for eating. After all, I would go to the UK. I'm tired. This is a sign. By 4:30 p.m., I called a carpenter. And the carpenter, I called my housekeeper. She went to get a carpenter. They literally, when they say, I had to break down a door to get what I want. So I called the carpenter because the key was with me and not with my housekeeper. He came to the house. He broke down my door. Literally. Then they called the documents. Shredder, he dashed to the park and gave a driver heading to Abuja night bus. How wild is that? My interview was by 8:30 in the morning the next day, and I trusted a driver with my documents, with my passports, with everything, coming to Abuja overnight to morning, hoping he will get to Abuja before 8:30. That was my interview. Now, another thing again that helped me before I go forward with this story is go on TikTok. TikTok helped me to answer your questions because I scrapped everything that agent told me over the years, 2 times, this is my money. This time around, I did it all on myself. I filled my form myself. I, arranged all my documents myself. I decided to reorientate myself. So you go on TikTok, I just typed how to answer visa questions, US visa questions. You will see it there. You will see it there. You just read over. They will teach you how to answer directly. Do not answer more than what they ask you. When they ask you a question, just go straight to the point, be truthful. So I just went over it as usual. In the morning, I got up, I took my bath without my passport, and I got to my appointment gate. I got to the US Embassy in Abuja that morning. And I explained to them at the gate, because remember that my own appointment was for 8:30. I explained to them, you can actually print out that your B1 form from, you can have an let me say e-copy of your confirmation data page. You can have that e-copy. So I printed it out. And that was the only document that I held to the gate. When I got to the gate of the embassy, I actually explained to them. They saw that, okay, that was my date. Today is the day I'm going to come in. And they told me that, well, I should go in first because there's where they do, will I call it accreditation, or let me say documentation, before you enter into the last phase. So I lined up with let me say others without my passport though. And let me say when it got to my turn and say, okay, submit your documents, submit your let me say interview page, passport, and your photograph and your passport. I now told the lady that, look, something happened and my passport is not with me, but they are bringing it. Please, please, can you give me time? Look, she looked up at me and she told me, if this passport does not get to you before 11, your interview is over. What I can do for you is that I can push your time to 11. By 11:30, we have closed here. And I told her, if this passport does not get to me before 11, can I reschedule? Can you give me another date? And they said, no, that money is gone. You have to pay again and look for another date. Remember how I suffered to get this date? They are giving people dates for next year, 2 years later. So imagine me suffering for this date. Guys, for the first time I cried, like tears dropped, not in front of her, but like out of frustration, like God. So if this passport does not get to me, this whole effort, my flight to and fro to Abuja is gone. The efforts I made by let me say breaking down my door to bring out my passport to me with the driver is gone, and my monies for this interview is gone. Isn't this a sign that I should not even be here in the first place? So I just had my hope on that driver. You know drivers now, you be calling them. I'll call them, Oga, where are you? You will say he just hitting Lokoja, he just hitting Nasarawa, he's almost at the border of let me say Abuja. Long story short, I took faith to get to the embassy without a passport. I waited outside for this driver. I called another person to please help me get to the park to pick up the passport anytime he gets there. So, long story short, this passport got to me by 45 minutes to the close of time, because there were still more people. So I knew that, okay, this interview might last till like, let me say 12:31, because the crowd that day was crazy. So that 11 will not hold. So it was like God broke protocols for my sake. I got the passports at the gate and I was running. Of course, people already there have already known my own story, because I've already explained to the people at the gate that, oh, this is my issue. I already explained to the second people at the second gate. People that have been there will know what I'm talking about, where they do documentation. That is my issue. So it was not it was not strange to see one black girl running with her passports, to meet up with people, because everybody has really entered inside. In fact, some people were they were already coming out. Wait, let me not even digress. While I was waiting for my passport, I was seeing people come out. You know how when you're coming out, their faces, they were angry. They were like, today, they're like, they're not giving anybody. People were coming out angry. One woman was crying that her mother is sick in America. She just wanted to go and see her. So I was already demoralized. I was like, hey, today that they say is blood red, what hope is there for me? And there is this story that people always tell that normally they have the amount of people that they give visas in a day. And it's not good for you to enter as a last person, because, of course, they have given the people they want to give for that day, and the rest is just rejection. Ha! So imagine me standing there. Probably I'll be the last person because of my own issue. And so, in fact, I was just leaning on the wall. I've already given up. So my passport came and I was running. Of course, since the passport is here, let me rush inside. Anything will happen. Anything that I see let it just happen like that. I did not even have hope that I would get. I just did not want my money to waste. I did not want all my efforts to waste. So I went in and they actually let me in because they have seen me, they know the whole story. Okay, she's the last person that will enter into here because we have finished our documentation. That was from the outside. So when I got in, I saw that there were about, let's say, if you've been there, you will know that there's a line. There's a line. So I just came at the back of the line. We already entered into the main building, and this now comes to the part three. First of all, protocols were broken for my sake, which means the gates, everybody was like walking in line with me, waiting. Secondly, I literally broke down a door to get what I wanted. This was the third phase. I'm the last on the line. I'm seeing about 15 people in front of me because they have different mirrors. Let's just call it mirrors, windows. I was wearing a blue jean and an Arsenal top. I'm an Arsenal fan. The sneakers, I don't usually make up. I was just like this. I do not care. So I was just standing, and inside the hall, when they are doing their own interviews, when they're asking questions, they have these microphones that it sounds so loud. Like you'll be hearing what the next interviewer is telling somebody. You'll be seeing whether they are even giving you visa or not. Like actually people on the line will see what is happening. So I was observing other people. I was just distraught. So there was a man in front of me. This is where it gets funny, a bit funny. Let me just give you what happened inside the hall. So, like 4 people in front of me, there was this, I don't know whether he was a king, him and the wife dressed on white and white, or Lori, or like, I was like, this king and his wife, they wore their staff with their beads, they were all, prepped, looking good. I say, hey, do you know that they got there? Did not ask them if they are together. They said, yes. So, of course, it's one interview. They rejected the king. I don't know if he's a king, but of course, he was actually royalty because he wore everything he was meant to wear. I saw that blue slip. I said, sorry, try next time. I said, God, it killed me more. I was like, king, or let me say king or somewhere. God, what do I have? And there's this thing that they always say about single girls. Sorry. There's this thing they always say about being single, that, if you're single, they don't really give you because they feel like you will run away, or you know how they always say it, and I'm single. I don't have a husband. So everything was against me. They have rejected me 2 times. It will be shown on their screen that this person was rejected. So I was just standing. At that point, I was like, let me just get this whole thing over with. So I was on the line, and there was a lady that turned. Her son ran to my back, because people were in front. And she just turned and she saw me. She was like, I know you online. And I was like, in my mind, honestly, I'm a friendly person, but in my mind, I was like, if only this woman knew that my mind is not in great thing. Because my mind is just beating. My heart was beating. I was tired. I was frustrated. I've gone through a lot that morning. And people were like, are you not the fitness farmer, Landra Farms? Oh, I know. Yes, I can recognize you by your hair and everything. Oh, please. After now, because of course we couldn't exchange numbers because everybody knows that inside there, our phones are already out. Our watches, if you have a smartwatch, it will be outside. So there was no way for me to give her my number. But she was so happy seeing me. She hugged. She was like, oh, don't worry. I'll wait for you outside. And normally I feel like we are not supposed to talk inside the main conclave because there are cameras. So in my mind it was like, hey, this woman, don't talk to me. Oh God, you're already making it worse for me. You're already greeting me. But she was so excited to actually see me. She was like, I'll wait for you outside the fitness farmer. Oh, I want to get this farm. Oh, I want to build a farm. And I'm like, yes, ma. Thank you. I'll see you outside. Because I didn't want anybody to even look at me or see somebody talking to me first. I'm already in the red already. My whole trajectory already here is already 0. Ha! Do you know that on that same line, another person from another window to recognize me? I'm like, social media. I was like, hey, today everybody, fitness farmer, what is all this? I do not need any form of greeting because I was, my heart was already up. If I have BP, if I don't, to have been high. So I didn't want any pleasantries. We're like, oh, I know you. Landra Farms, right? Social media, fitness farmer. And I was like, yes, ma. So she hugged me already. I was just hugging. I said, God, these people here, they already cancelled me because you're not even meant to greet. In my mind, you're not even meant to talk to anybody. Don't greet me. I am in the hotline. So that was like 2 people. I was like, God, please, may nobody even recognize me for anything after these people have gone. In fact, I will not even reply you. So I was just saying all that. And He got to my turn, but before he got to my turn, let me give you another gist. There was a man I was listening to his own interview. They asked him. I knew like he dressed like really well. He's not of money. So he was in another window, and that whole mic, the mic would be sound as in you'll be hearing another person's interview. So I was on the line just looking at them, and the lady said, "What do you do?" And he said he's an entrepreneur. Or like, what kind of entrepreneur? And he said he has about 5 hotels in Lagos. He called their names. Of course, he had the documentation for them. And he's also a businessman. He also imports power banks to Nigeria, like with their name as under his brand. And then I asked him, okay, after all expenses, with all this your investments, how much do you earn in a month? Like how much do you get in a month after paying off like every expense? That means how much does he make in a month? And he said he makes about between 5 to 8 million. My people, when I heard 5 to 8 million, I say, hey, Onyinye, I don't make 8 million, God. 5 million. Hey, I say, God, 8 million. What will I do? Because do you know why I screamed? Because he was denied. After all this talk, he goes to China. They just giving it. Say, okay, we've heard, thank you. Please try next time. He was like, please, he's just going there for a business. They said, try next time. They only be polite and see push you. I saw that blue slip. Like my line, that lady that actually greeted me, that came with her kids, they gave her, because I think she was going to meet her husband or something. But everybody on the line, they were about 11 before me, only her. So imagine only her, and I'm the last. And imagine these big men that has, if our hotels that any 8 million naira a month, we are waiting at the end. So imagine the state of my mind at that point in time. And guess what? It was that same window that man, that blue slip was coming out. That was where they directed me to go. So by the time I got to the window, I just had this thing of, let me get over with this thing, collect my blue slip and go home. I have suffered enough from yesterday till today, to run after driver, to passport, to breaking down doors, to coming inside here. So let me just get this over with. And then they said, okay, welcome. What do you do? What are you going to the US for? And I said, I'm going for vacation. It's like I'm going for vacation. And I said, okay, why the US, if I might ask? And I was like, because number one, I have never been there, so I want to see some states in the US. I want to see this. I want to go to New York. I want to see the Empire State Building. I just said, of course. And I want to see other states. I want to see Disneyland. I just keep just like, yeah, just for vacation, explore states, go to Miami, go to Florida, just have a good time. And she said, okay. She now said, what do you do? And I told her, I am a farmer. Remember that I said on this my last missionary journey, I'm coming as myself. I am tired, So I said, I'm a farmer. And she said, okay, how many birds do you have? I told her. She said, okay, how many staffs do you have? I told her. But I noticed something. As I was telling her, she was typing something on the screen. And then she now said, what's the name of your farm? I told her, Landra Farms, everything, what's your personal, everything. And also remember that when you're filling your form, you fill in both your social media pages and everything. When she said, okay, so she asked me, what kind of birds do you deal in? I said, well, I deal in layers. And then she said, but you also do broilers. And that was because normally I am a layer farmer. So last Christmas, I sold broilers for the first time. And I don't term myself as a broiler farmer. So it never came to my head that for me to tell them that, oh, I do layers and broilers. No. So when she said, but I can see that you also do broilers, that was when it occurred to me that she was on my social media pages. And this is where I will also come in. That is also helpful. Building a presence online, no matter how small, that tallies to what you're saying is very good. She was on my page and she saw that, because remember, November, when I was putting my beds, I was documenting. So she would see the small beds. She would see it and she was like, and you also have turkeys. And then I knew it was over. They are going through my social media. If you are going for a visa interview, it's always good to put what you do on social media. I already have a strong, I can term it in all humility, I already have like a strong brand presence on social media, both on my business page, Landra Farms, and on my fitness farmer page. I didn't even tell her that I build farms for even people. I help consult, I help do this one, I've done this farm. There was no need, I was tired. The only thing I could remember is I'm a farmer, I have birds. Finish. These are my workers. So it was when she was saying, you have turkeys. I said, oh, yes, it's true that I also built another farm, a year before, but it is a smaller farm. It is like a test run for my broilers and turkeys, then layers. She asked me about my workers, how I so because it is what I do, I flowed. Remember that I was talking into the mic. I could see that I didn't even know that the people were listening from other angles because I was defending what I do, and she was on my social media pages. Another thing again she said, and you have cute dogs. And it clicked because on my personal page, The Fitness Farmer, you would always see my dogs, boats, snow. You would always see I create content with them. I'm also a content creator on my personal page. So if you want to see my videos, I even edit for people, I edit for companies, brands pay me. I am actually new on YouTube. That's the truth. But on Instagram, I'm not new. I have worked with a lot of brands, Dettol, and I didn't even add that during the interview. There was no need, my people, because remember my state of mind. I'll say, I beg, I'm a farmer. Anything where they want to talk for here, they should just, if they want to give me, okay. So I forgot other things that I do, that I am a professional creator. I create videos, I create lifestyle videos, I create videos for brands. I've worked with major brands in Nigeria. All those ones I did not say in this because I was just tired. So she was the person that said, Mom, you feel your personal page. I filled Fitness Farmer, I filled Landra Farms. I didn't even know that they would actually search me out. I did not have all those things in my head. So by the time she was saying, oh, and you have cute dogs, I knew that she was on my page. I said, oh, thank you. And that was it. I was holding my bank statements because I was like, look, Onye, you are big enough. Your work is big enough. You are big enough as a farmer. For Christ's sake, you've put in 6 years, almost 7 down the line as a farmer. For Christ's sake, I pay salaries across boards. So I knew that that was where I was coming from my own strength. I'm a farmer, and I now expected her to ask me, okay, show me your, say bank statements, your returns, your this. If you have any property, land, I carried everything. My hand was heavy with documents. They didn't ask me, and they didn't even tell me to show them anything because I was prepared. I have paid all my taxes. I pay my taxes. My company is a public limited liability company. I have workers. I have a property. Hey, nothing will I no carry from my hand. I was holding it ready for action, but that was not what they asked. All this is just what she said. I said, okay, let me have your passport. Come back in the next, I think she said, I think 4 to 5 days and take it. At that point in time, it had not clicked that they have given me. Remember that I've not seen who they have given because I came in late, and the first 8 people, they said no. I'm the last person. So I was confused. And she looked up and said, come in the next 5 days, you have the visa. You can stamp your passport. You have gotten the visa. Congratulations. And she smiled because she could see that I was expecting the blue slip. I was expecting, honestly, because I wasn't really answering, I was expecting the blue slip. So she smiled because she understood that I don't know how it works here. I didn't know that you have to take my passport there and then. I thought you would take me to another room or somewhere and stamp. I don't know. So I told her, I said, okay, I turned and I was going. Do you know, before I got to the door, I know that they have other people that work in other offices. One guy stood and he was clapping because they were hearing me defend what I do. They were hearing me talk with all integrity. Because for the first time, I didn't listen to what, oh, sorry, God, the sun here is crazy. Because for the first time, I did not listen to what the agent ever told me all those years. I came as I am, and I was enough. Because I had a mentality that if I'm not enough for people, if what I do as a farmer is not enough, to hell. So and because they had me defending, talking about my turkeys, my layers, how I structure my workers, it was flowing seamlessly. And another thing again I could think about was that maybe they also saw when they were actually greeting me in the hall. Oh farmer, even if I didn't want to be greeted, and I came as I am. So if you're watching this video, whatever you are doing, anybody telling you that, oh, your work or your stuff is not good enough, you should say you do this or you do that, it is a lie. It's a lie. If what you're doing and you can defend it and it's what you have done over time, they did not look at all of that. I say I was not dressed. I just wore a t-shirt and a jean. Normally, I'm like this. The way you see me in my videos, this is the way I always look. There is nothing special. But as I stood there answering questions from the mic, because when you come at me with agriculture, that is my field, I would balance so they could read the whole body language. They could see that this is what I do. It is with pride. I am a farmer. So that's how I got the visa. Today I am here. So this is before I go into you put other questions. You will get it in other vlogs. But for this particular vlog, if you can take one or two things from this video, what I can tell you is, number one, please try and fill your form yourself. Because the first two times I was giving people outside to actually fill in my own, process my own papers for me. Look, when you fill your form yourself, you know what you wrote. So I feel like you should fill your form yourself. Number two, do not lie. When they ask me if I know anybody, no, I do not know anybody. But let me tell you, I forgot that I have an auntie, my dad's blood sister. She's in the US. She's here. My dad's only sister, my auntie, is here. She's a legal citizen. She has a green card. I forgot. But at that point in time, I said, no, I don't have anybody. Well, no, I'm coming on my own vacation. Who is sponsoring you? I am self-sponsored. I am a farmer. This is what I do. And a farmer can sponsor herself to anywhere she wants to go. That is the dignity in labor. That is the dignity and respect that comes from what you do. Do never let anybody think that what you do is too small. Whether a tailor, a designer. I think I even have a friend. I've been told them that she is a designer. She designs clothes for people. She sews. Look, they gave her the visa. Big names does not work all the time. When you do not come as yourself, sometimes they actually see through, because the first two times I didn't come as myself, they saw through it. So please, if you can pick one or two things from this, tell me a big thank you in the comment section. Please do well to like and share my videos. I'm here and I'm going to bring you guys content, amazing content. I've been to so many places. So please click on my vlog. What you will see on, let me say, Instagram is just the highlights. I'm tired, just highlights. But on this place, this is where I'll be dropping the tea, fat and oil. I hope you learned from this. I hope you know that you can actually fill your visa application by yourself. Come as you are. No job is too small. No job is too big. No job is too dirty. No job is too high. No job is too low. No job is too. Come as yourself. So yes, being a farmer got me a visa I have always looked for years. And I'm here today, and I just thought to share my story to encourage somebody, because on this page, we do not get to keep. Like this video, and you have further questions, you can ask me in the comment section. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for even listening to the end. Your farmer is coming with another big news. Thank you, and see you guys in another vlog in 2 days this week. Bye.